Hello, my friend. I'd like to share with you for a minute about the difference between peace and comfort. Most of us pursue comfort our whole lives. Better jobs, more money, bigger house, more stuff, perfect spouse, the list goes on. And when things don't work out the way we wish they would work out, we don't do well. We're unhappy, we're frustrated, we're disappointed, we wonder where God is. The reality is that God has given us something so much better, so much brighter, so much bigger than perfect circumstances. In John chapter 14, verse 27, Jesus says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you." And he goes on to say, "Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Don't let your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." The distinction that he makes there between the peace that he gives and the peace that the world gives is huge. We have to see this. The world gives comfort and a temporary feeling of peace based on how things are going, based on circumstances, based on what people say, based on how things work out. That's what the world gives. That is not what Jesus has given us. Jesus has given us a peace that cannot be shaken. Romans chapter 5 says we have peace with God. It's not something that comes and goes. It's not something that shifts from one day to another. The peace that God's given us is not a feeling. It is a fact. In Matthew chapter 7, Jesus talks about the man who hears these words of mine and does them, and describes that man as someone who built his house on the rock. And when the wind blew and the water fell and the waves came, when the trial and the storm of life came, that man's house stood fast because it was founded on the rock. What is the rock? The rock is truth. The rock is the person of Jesus. The rock is God's love for us revealed through the cross. The rock is the gospel, my friends. It's the reality of God's relentless power and love manifested to us, for us, through us, and in us. James chapter 1 describes someone who doubts God as someone tossed to and fro like a wave of the sea. Don't ever be that. You have the choice. You have the choice, my friend, to be tossed around like a wave or to be solid, built on the rock. If you know who your Father is, if you know who your King is, you know who the one is that lives inside you and what he's given you and who he is in you and who you are in him, nothing will ever take your peace. You will be unshakable because you are built on the rock. I hope this blesses you. May the peace of Christ possess your heart. May it become the song of your soul and the truth from which you never ever depart. In Jesus' name, bless you.